Welcome along. Welcome to Southern Roots.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me.
Um, Now, when we go to interview country singers, it's not very often we go to Norway.
No, I bet. I bet.
We've had people reach out from Sweden, but I think you're the first out of Norway.
Mhm. That's cool.
So, how did you find how did you find country music over in Norway? How did that come about?
It started off when I was just a kid. My mom always, listened to Alan Jackson, Garth Brooks, and so on. So it just, it started at a pretty early age listening to country music. And when I was, I think, 15, 16, when I started, singing more professionally, people always said, "Ah, you sound good, but you have this country twang thing to your voice. So maybe that is something you should think about." And I was like, "Okay, maybe," but I didn't hear that myself at that point.
Yeah,
But I do that now. So yeah,
because when you started out in music, you started out playing the drums.
yeah, that's correct. That's correct.
So obviously, the drummers kind of got the worst bargain in every band because you've got to be the first there to get set up and you're the last to kind of leave. Um,
Exactly.
what made you want to transition from the drums to the guitar and being on the stage singing?
All honesty, I think first of all, I always loved, drumming on things since I was a small kid. But with that said, I heard my guitar mentor that played with my father in his band for many years, and he played this song "Still Got the Blues," Gary Moore, and he played that solo so beautifully, and I was like, I want to do that. I want to do that. And then I bought my first guitar when I was 15, I think. Started off with the kind of the cliche stuff, Stairway to Heaven, Can Rock, and all that shit that you
Yeah.
don't need. But then after I got older, I started trying to find my sound, so to speak, on a guitar. And today it's like the guitar is my best friend on stage because I feel more comfortable, and I feel like that's kind of my other tool except for my voice, and kind of a way to express yourself.
And how do you find that? Because country, it's like no other genre out there. You can't just decide I'm going to be a country singer. I can write country music because country music, we've all heard the famous saying, it's three chords and the truth.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but it's true. The story's got to tell a story, otherwise it just doesn't transform. How do you find that? And also find that with obviously being from Norway, how does that translate across into the music? How have you found it?
In all honesty, especially now when I'm getting older, everything, I'm more my emotions is more kind of on the surface, especially after I got my two, beautiful children. And the one of the writers that I have, Gary Scott Baker, he knows me pretty much, pretty well. So when he writes songs for me, he always kind of know exactly what I want or what I need. And the main reason why I'm using Gary is just because, I know that I get some top tier songs, it's not like maybe or,
Yeah.
so that's the reason because he's been writing songs now for I think close to 35 years. So, and he's from Nashville. He knows the kind of the market. He knows the kind of how the evolution on the music market changes every year. And I just want to kind of be sure that the things that I put out is something that sounds good and also something that I can, translate to.
Yeah. This is it. Both you and the listeners got to connect to the song.
Yeah.
And that is something that you can't just learn. You've
No,
either got it or you haven't. We played your song, your cover of Keith Urban's Somebody Like You on our show a couple of weeks ago. And
appreciate
you
that.
guys were actually in the live, which is kind of weird. I know your manager was,
Yeah,
and that's kind of surreal for us having somebody listening live as it's going out. But it went out to a great reception.
that's nice.
And what I kind of like is Um, I've been going through some of your past interviews with other radio stations and stuff, and obviously you can tell you've got an accent. You're from Norway. You can't
Yeah,
hide
yeah.
that,
No.
but you can't hear that in your voice.
Can I sing? No.
When you're talking, I mean, I was listening to some of the phrases you were saying in interviews, and you can quite clearly hear your Norway accent in there. But
Yeah.
when you sing the same words, you could have been from Nashville for all I knew.
Yeah, and that's kind of the phenomenon that always tried to explain why that is. And basically, the thing is, but just because when we talk like this, it's no, it's not scripted, you
Yeah,
know, it's like on freehand. So when you rehearse something in beforehand, it always, it's easier to kind of, do the grammatically kind of pronunciation things
yeah.
correctly. And that's kind of and even I can hear when I talk also that I'm getting better, but it will take some time to get to that point that I can wrap off that accent because
Yeah.
it's hard. You have to be in the States, you have to like live it, the culture and everything. But I believe that someday with the more I talk American and all that stuff, I think at some point I will be as good as almost you can hear that kind of accent has been washed away, but it would take some time, and that's fine because that's
Well,
some sort of a charm, I think,
see,
also.
I don't think that because I've been going through your back catalogue, and there's obviously some names here that we just can't even pronounce.
Yeah.
I was just looking at a couple of minutes ago. There was a couple that are in obviously Norwegian, Karalekaskevian.
But what
I've got absolutely no idea. It starts with a K, but
what is it on? Is it a song? Is it a post? Or
this is no, it's one of your songs. It's on Amazon Music here. Karl,
oh, no, that's not I'm gonna give you the info for that real quick here now. I'm from Norway. My fiance is from Sweden. So I have written and dedicated some songs to her. So that song, Kärleksvisan. Kärleksvisan också.
Alex Eason.
That's a Swedish song that I kind of, dedicated to her, doing a cover of. And I have the song Du och jag.
Yep, I've seen that as
Also,
well.
also You and I is the same song, only in English. Du och jag is, also a Swedish song.
They sound great. The songs sound great, but hard work for us radio presenters to present them.
Yeah, yeah, of course, man. And here we go with Du och jag.
How is the country scene out there in Norway? Because I know that there's UK acts are heading over into that kind of area, starting to bring tours there. Is it a growing genre or
Yeah, I would say it's a growing genre. Foremost, I would say that UK is kind of getting big. I know that on a country pop country part, but Sweden and Norway as well is following along now and starting to kind of open their eyes to this kind of, especially the country pop thing, Morgan Valley and so on. But I think, with time we will get there. But you just have to kind of do the right things with the songs that are gonna drop. That's also one of the reasons that I'm working with people from the States because that's kind of the way we want to go. But at the same time, we want to build our market and our audience and fan base here also. So I might, I'm not sure yet, but it might become some sort of two-part kind of thing that I do, maybe an EP that is kind of, country pop in Swedish or Norwegian and also gonna just, follow up with the songs that I have from Gary and keep doing those. Um, because we have a lot actually, and but I think that it's growing. It's much bigger now, compared to 10 years back.
yeah? But I think you've got to as well try and keep the music true to yourself.
Mhm.
Um,
That I'm a friend with a guy who called is called Paul O'Hanlon, and he just happens to be a good friend of Keith Urban because he's a film executive producer from Australia. and he's a friend of him. So the thing that I'm trying to do now is get Keith Urban to listen to my cover song. I'm not sure how easy that is.
Somebody like you is an amazing cover of Keith Urban's song. And I was curious as to, obviously, it's on social media and stuff, whether anybody from his team had actually heard it or,
Not sure. I know. I just know that the funny thing is that Paul. I haven't talked with Paul now for maybe 4 years, I think.
yeah,
And all of a sudden, I got a voice message on the messenger, and it said, I'm not sure why, but you just kind of popped in my head the other day, and I just want to check in and check see if everything is going okay and all that. Hope you're doing well, and let me know when we can have a chat talk on WhatsApp." And I was like, "Okay, where did that come from?" And then I started to think maybe just maybe he heard my cover song of his friends, biggest
yeah.
hit. I'm not sure. I have no idea, but he's told me that he's gonna reach out to me again when he goes up because Australia is 10 hours ahead of Norway, I think. Yeah,
Any plans to come across to the UK?
yeah. I've been talking a lot. The last years I've been sick and stuff, but I'm getting better now for every week. But I have some connections in UK because I recorded my first single in downtown London, Soho, uh, with a kind of a music kind of management called Downtown Artists, I think it's called, with a guy who is named James Arter, and he told me maybe you should try to do some sort of showcase, play around some places here, just small stuff just to get your name, going
Yeah.
here can be a kind of a good thing for you. So yeah, maybe soon.
Good. We would love to see that. And definitely reach out to us if you are over here. We would love to come and see you. Look forward to what's coming up.
Um, I'm not sure if I can say this. To be honest, I you know, because um, we are starting to get some traction now, and I'm so grateful for that. I don't want to mention any names, but I have a label meeting soon now. I
Good.
have, yeah. So that's one of the things that maybe it gonna drop in the future. And also just I have this built for you, built for me a song dropping now on Friday. I'm pretty excited about that, which kind of playlist it will land in because I have some faith in that song, just because it's kind of have this structure
Yep.
that is built so kind of different. It's not because many songs you have verse, chorus, verse, done. But I feel like in this song you have this all these kind of different aspects on the build up, and that's my manner now. My producers kind of I have to thank him for that, but. That is one of the songs, and we have a song called "Slow Burn Love," kind of like a Chris Stapleton vibe, I would say, like Tennessee Whiskey, a bit
Yep.
faster, but yeah. And that is also dropping soon. And I have a collaboration with Chris Medina, aka What the Words, also happening soon. And I have a collaboration with an artist from the UK called she's a redhead girl called Brownie Music.
Romy. Yeah, we know her.
Yeah, yeah. Have a song we're gonna do with her. It's called "How Do I Love Again," and then I have a couple of other things coming up, but I don't want to spill the tea quite yet because I don't want to jinx anything. So
Well, it's exciting to see that things are taking off for you. And thank you for giving up your afternoon. I know it'll be heading towards tea time over there, or whatever you call it, dinner.
in that time,
But
yeah.